In the patterns of biodiversity, last time we have discussed that there is much more biodiversity near the equator and there is less biodiversity towards the pole. There, at the lesser latitude, there is much more biodiversity, and on higher latitudes, there is less biodiversity. So there is another related question, that is evolution faster in the tropics? So from the biodiversity we come to the evolution, that if the what is the reason that biodiversity is higher at the tropics? Is the evolution faster there? So we will be discussing this question there. So what is evolution or biological evolution? The process by which the new species are generated. More the number of species, more the biodiversity. So it essentially involves a genetic variation and subsequent selection of most suitable genetic combination within a particular environment. So now question is whether evolution proceeds more rapidly under tropical conditions, and if it does, then the richness of the tropics could simply be due to the continual evolution of new forms here. So we have discussed that the tropics have more biodiversity. So is that due to the thing that we have more evolution there? Due to the more evolution, there is new type of species there, and due to those new type of species, there is much more biodiversity on the tropics. So whether the tropics have acted as a center of evolution for groups of organisms in the past. So we have that fossil record that if we can see that the tropics had much more biodiversity in the past as well, and the plants and the fossil provide a useful group in which to investigate this possibility, because the tropics we have excellent fossil record, and that can we can assess with the help of that if the biodiversity was more in the past as well. So here you can see the estimated percentage representation of flowering plants, which are called angiosperms, at different times in geological history and at different latitudes. So angiosperms have always been more abundant in the low latitude, which are the tropical regions from Crane and Ligard. We have that. So during the geological age 65 to 145, the percentage of angiosperms in the paleo altitude, it has been varied, and it is much more higher as the latitude is increasing. The angiosperms percentage is also increasing within the ancient times as well. So now it is an environment. The metabolic theory states that there is more metabolism, as we have discussed in the previous topic as well. So in an environment where energy is abundant and temperature is consistently high, such as tropics, the metabolic rate in organisms tend to be faster, fecundity is greater, and generation time becomes shorter. So fecundity is that to produce more and more offspring. The number of offsprings are more, the population is more. When the population is more, resources are less, what will happen? There will be survival of the fittest, the natural selection will occur, and this will result into the evolution. So this is also correlates with the metabolic theory as well. So metabolic theory states there is more metabolism, and as a result the evolution will be greater as well, and that happens on the tropics. And there is another point of view, which is an alternative point of view, is that ultraviolet radiation, generally greater on the tropics. When the ultraviolet radiations are on, having incidence onto the organisms, they are changing their DNA, mutations will occur, and the mutations are the raw material for the evolution. And there is positive feedback in that the new varieties are in competition with the another, and leading an intense degree of selection for the most fit. So when there is much more diversity there, the organisms which are best fit, they will continue to strive for the best characteristics, which will result into more evolution. The regions with the high diversity exhibit a faster rate of diversification, and argument is circular, right? So it can be other way around as well. For example, the regions with the faster rate of diversification have high diversity. So external factors, for example, we have discussed about the metabolism. They are likely to create the required environment for enhanced diversification as well. So both are the things are result of the metabolism, the higher diversification as well as the higher amount of higher evolution. Jonathan Davies and his colleague from Imperial College London and from Kew Gardens, they studied the accumulation of. They said that accumulation of species was indeed faster in the regions of high biomass. So the number of the biomass, the amount of biomass is higher. There will be higher amount of evolution there. Either of the speciation being rapid or of extinction rates being lower. So this might be the reason that their speciation rates are higher, or their extinction rates are lower as well. So, and this gives energy biomass model, more energy, more biomass, and this will result into the more speciation and less extinction. So energy biomass model remains the most robust explanation currently available for the latitudinal gradients in diversity. There remain, however, additional factors that need to be considered, and considering those factors, the best model that we have today is the energy biomass model for the latitudinal gradients in the diversity.